I'm Andy, this is Real Life Reviews, and this is the Hoka Mach 6, the replacement, upgrade, whatever you want to call it, of the Mach 5. And I'm just going to turn it round and let you have a good look at this shoe for a few moments. You'll see it's just been unboxed. I've not actually run in it yet. And once you've had a look through, we've gone through some numbers, I'm then going to spend a couple of weeks taking it from 5k up to probably around about 32k and let you know what I think of the changes that Hoka have made to what was a very popular shoe in the Mach 5. So basic numbers then, well, stack height, and always quite difficult with Hoka because, and I like this, Hoka always look higher than the stated stack height because your foot sits inside the midsole, and it's lovely. It helps, I think, with the lock and the feel. But essentially what we're looking at is we're looking at a 37mm stack height at the heel and a forefoot of 32, which gives us a drop of 5mm, pretty standard there. Now, weight. Just have a quick look at this. The trusty Real Life Review scales, one Mach 6, and we have 243 grams for a UK 8.5. Now more about the size in a moment. To put that into perspective, the Cielo X1, which I've just got here, that's 255. To be fair, with the other laces in, it was coming out at 253, 254. But if I just tip the shoe, you can see that I've now got my elastics on with my gripper. So that adds another gram or so. So this shoe, the all-rounder, which we'll call it for the moment, is lighter than this shoe, the super shoe. That's not actually unexpected if you look at the weights in class. And to be fair, the Cielo X1 is slightly heavy within its class, but it does make this a very, very attractive proposition from purely a weight perspective. But we'll see how it feels on the feet coming up. I said I'd say a bit more about size. This is an 8.5, but this is the wide fit. So Hoka do a D, which is D for width in there, and that is the normal width, and they do a 2E. This is the 2E, the wide fit, and something that I, from my experience, am beginning to find with Hoka more recently, and that's with the Rocket X2, as well as the Cielo, as well as the Clifton a little bit less so, but the Mach series as well, is they're getting narrower, and I don't think I've got wide feet. But the width. So if we talk about sizing, I would definitely be considering going up half a size or getting the wide fit if you're ordering online. As if by magic, here we are 12 days and 82 kilometers later on a not quite so clean Mach 6. First impressions, well, to sum up, if you like the Mach 5, I'm pretty sure you're going to like the Mach 6. You won't be disappointed. The vast majority of you, and there's always going to be individual taste, the vast majority of you are going to find that the changes are positive. It's lost a bit of weight from the Mach 5, it's added some responsiveness, it's got a new upper, and quite frankly, in short, it's an excellent all-round runner. The shoe itself is what I would term a stable neutral shoe. So it's not a stability shoe, it's neutral, but it's a pretty stable neutral. It's got a decent width to it and firmness to the width, which just helps with that little bit of stability. And with the stack that we've got on this, 37 to 32, it's a good firmness for that stack, and high stack shoes can feel a little bit unstable. I didn't get any of that in this shoe. So fit is the one area where I think if you're a massive fan of the Mach 5, you might find a little negative. I think this shoe is narrower than the Mach 5. And as I said earlier, this is the wide fit, this is the 2E, it's not the normal fit. And some of you will like the grip and the fact that it holds you in tight. Me personally, I don't particularly want that, and more so, I want the wider toe box, and when it's hot and I'm going over distance, I want my feet to be able to splay a bit, swell, expand, and take up that space. Now the upper is it's a new mesh, it's a durable jacquard mesh, and the breathability is good. I've been running in this in some quite hot temperatures, yeah, and my feet do get hot, and it's certainly it's no worse than any other, and it's better than most. So good breathability. Now the tongue. The tongue is a thin tongue. There's no padding on the tongue. It's a double gusseted tongue. If I just pull that a bit, you can see the gusset on one side. You've got that on both sides. Having said that it's got no padding and it's thin, I felt no lace pressure whatsoever. And that's partly, I suspect, due to, if you can see the darker and up here, we've got a little bit of padding where it says Hoka, and we've got a tougher, this sort of purpley blue is a more tougher rubber. So it doesn't matter how you tighten that, I've not felt any pressure from the laces whatsoever. And whilst we're talking about the laces, we classically have a 2i lace up, so you've got an option of where you want to tie, or you can tie a heel lock, and link to a heel lock at the end of this video. The heel cup itself, I like it. It's lightly padded, but it holds securely. The heel tab, you can see, curves away. Just try and give you a profile, and if you look on top, you can see it curves away. This has two benefits. One is you don't get Achilles tendon rub, which you can get on some shoes, and the other is it gives a pull on. Now, for triathletes, this is the easiest Hoka I've found to get on. So whether it's the sort of size of the opening of the foot, but with that tab, with the tongue, I found this the quickest shoe, easiest shoe to get on in transition of all of the Hokas. So that might be a consideration for you. Yeah, I personally believe that this heel cup holds more securely than the Mach 5. So in summary, this is a shoe that I think feels light on your feet, and it gives a very smooth ride. It encourages a quick turnover, and it's actually quite easy to run at a slightly higher cadence. And this is where you might want to think about how you want to run. For me, this is a great all-rounder, don't get me wrong, but this comes into its own as a training shoe for tempo, threshold, and anaerobic sets. Whereas if what you want is something for a slower plod, more of an endurance plod, you might want to consider the Clifton 9. And I've got a pair of those that I'm running in at the moment, and review to come soon when I've put a few more kilometers on it. So without making an absolute commitment on the Clifton 9, because I've not finished reviewing it, I would go as a general all-round running shoe. I'd be recommending a Mach 6 or a Clifton, and at the moment I would say the Mach 6 for tempo, threshold, anaerobic, and the Clifton for endurance-based running. Many thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, give it that thumbs up, and share it with your friends. If you've not yet subscribed, well, click on the little round picture just down there. If you want that heel lock, how to tie one, down there. A couple of other shoes, Hoka's Cielo X1 up there, and New Balance's Fuel Cell SC Elite version 4. Thanks for watching.